All right, welcome to the Backbone Podcast. I am the Backbone. Thank you for joining me today. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday uh, at the time of this broadcast. So it is about 77 degrees outside. And as we said, this is the Backbone Podcast where common sense still makes sense. I'm your host, the Backbone. Thank you for joining me. And we have a fantastic show for you tonight or today. I wanted to get on a topic of Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has announced that he is done. He is moving on. He's not going to talk about J Lo anymore. His ex-wife for I think a second time. I mean, can you blame Homeboy for leaving this woman? I mean, she is just totally outrageous. He's down here and he's saying things that I don't think he should be saying. He should not. I always feel that you should not air out your dirty laundry. And Ben Affleck is coming out and he's talking about his divorce and he's moving on and he doesn't want to be bothered anymore. This is a guy who has three kids with Jennifer Gardner. I mean, he's been married a few times too. Just let's take a look at this article here from the Post. Affleck told a magazine that his life is actually pretty drama free and that he holds nothing but respect for Lopez. He also said that there is no scandal surrounding the pair's breakup after only 2 years. Um, Listen, the best time in a man's life is when he gets divorced. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. You know, when a guy gets divorced, it seems it might seem to be a little uh, it's scary. You might even lose money. You might even see your kids once or twice a week. You can fight these things, but I did. But being in hell isn't worth it. You know, you have to remember that you're the prize here, and you cannot allow yourself to live in misery, especially with a woman. Women are inherently evil. They have hell within them. They carry it. They spread it. They spread it to you. They'll spread it to your children. They'll spread it to anybody they can you know get their claws on. And we do not, as men, have to accept that. Ben Affleck opens up. How does he handle the interview? I thought that the reading the comments, reading the topic, reading the article here, I thought he was pretty genuine. I thought he was pretty straightforward. He says he's moving on. There's no scandal. There's no nonsense. He wants to get over this. But my issue with him would have been 2 years ago. Why in God's name would you date a woman that or marry a woman that you've been divorced to already, or that you had a relationship with already? You know, there was an old timer in my neighborhood who once said that you don't reheat an old bowl of soup. You know, meaning man shouldn't go back to a woman after she leaves. And sometimes the right person comes around during the wrong time, but you got to be wary. You got to set boundaries immediately. Um, sometimes it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you, where you meet somebody, you think it's the right moment, and maybe it's not, and they leave, or you may leave, and or the relationship just fizzles out. But you have to, if you're going to take this person back, whether if it's 6 months from now, or a year from now, or 10 years from now, you must set boundaries immediately. You have to go back into your memory bank there, make sure that everything that she did or said in the past isn't repeated in your future. You do not need that. You got to remember that you're the prize, not the other way around. And men just don't understand that anymore. It seems to be like a woman's world. And if you remember back in the old days, if you read anything about history, you know, fathers of daughters had to pay men to marry their daughters because they want to get rid of them. Women were pretty much useless. They weren't, they couldn't work on farms. They couldn't lift heavy equipment. They couldn't do much. They were basically just in the house, tidying up and helping mom in the kitchen. So a man had to, give his, a dad had to give out, a pig and a horse to a guy as a dowry, to marry this girl and get that girl out of the house, and you know, so it's one less mouth to feed. And what you have to remember is, and what Ben Affleck I don't think realized, is when you meet a woman, you have to always say to yourself, what does she offer me? Well, women don't offer you much. Women can't offer you a lot. They don't. They The only thing that they can really offer you is sexual desire. And what does she offer you other than sexual desire in your future? Pretty much nothing else. But she's going to marry you. I mean, there's going to be hell to pay. She's going to make you rue the day that you get married. And I hate to say this, but what is it? 60% of divorces, 60% of marriages end in divorces. I mean, if you were in a plane and you were going to parachute out of there, and there was a 60% chance that parachute wouldn't open, would you still jump out of the plane? I don't think you would, but men still do it today. And the statistic, at least in the state that I'm in, second marriages have a higher divorce rate than first time divorces. If you get married again, I think the divorce rate for second marriages is 72%. So that's insane. I mean, why would a guy want to go through all of that crap again with an older woman, or with a young girl that he doesn't really have much in common with? So this is where I would have sat Ben Affleck down and said, "Hey, is this the right thing for you? Is this the right thing for your future?" And it all comes down to men always fearing that they're never going to meet somebody again. Men always worry about getting laid. They always worry about being lonely. They always worry about growing old alone. And society tells men, if you're alone, you're a loser. Well, eagles fly alone, right? They soar in the sky alone. Why? Because they are the the apex predator. They are the top of the food chain. They are majestic, powerful, strong, and that's what you are. You're a majestic, powerful, strong eagle that flies and soars in his own skies. And you don't have to be weighed down by some broad who's going to make you spend money, make you do things you don't want to do, who's probably going to make you have a baby when you don't want to, who's going to make you get married when you don't want to, and who's going to do the things that you just don't feel comfortable doing. I don't know. I know a lot of married guys. I don't know a lot of them who are happily married. I talk to them all the time. I know a guy who got married at 55 years old. He's 65 now. He is absolutely miserable. Miserable. He was a bachelor his whole life, but he decided he met this woman online, which is mistake number one. She was divorced with older kids, mistake number two. And then he decided to get married because he was a bachelor his whole life. And now he's absolutely miserable because now he has to deal with her children and now her children's children, the drama that comes out of that side of the family. The wife is a grandmother, so she puts the grandkids first. And this guy brought this woman into his house. It's not his house anymore. She's redecorating it, filling it up with crap that they don't need, spending money that they shouldn't be spending, and he's lost total control over his life. And men have to understand that being alone is it's solitude. It's safe. It's wonderful. You can go anywhere and you're not alone. And we'll get into why you're not alone a little later. But you are never alone as long as you have your purpose. And your purpose is what makes you whole. Your purpose is what makes you the person that you really should be. And when you find your purpose, you evolve. And evolving is the best way to stay on your path and to be the man that you should be. And this is going out to guys who are 18, and this is going out to guys who are 80. It's never over. It's never, ever too late to evolve. Uh, we look at women today, and, a woman could be a distraction for you. There's going to be a time where you might wake up and say, "Hey, listen, I want to do something different with my life. I don't want to be a 9 to 5er anymore. I don't want to be. I want to start my own business. I want to get a side hustle. I want to do something that makes me whole." And then guess what? The universe says, "Haha, here's a little wrench," and that wrench could be a woman. And now she's texting you when she's texting you. When you should be creating and developing. She's wants to go out when you should be focused on the real prize, you. She's going to want you to spend money when you should be investing in yourself, maybe investing in the stock market, investing in your business or side hustle. She's there to distract you from evolving, because most men, when they have a woman, they become stagnant. I can tell you that firsthand. I had a woman in my life, man, everything, I just stopped everything, because she would text me all the time, and we would go out all the time, and we would spend money, and we did all these things. I mean, listen, I've had different women in my life, but once I got older, I figured that those women went in my 40s, and now in my later time, I wouldn't have a chance to be with anybody else, which is not true. The women come and go. Women come and go just like the seasons. But women are a distraction, and women do put a wrench in your creativity and your development, and they totally destroy your focus. And focus is going to be our theme for the man memo later on. And listen, I know that there are a lot of these guys in the manosphere that talk about, you got to date 10s and 9s and 8s or whatever the hell that means. There was a great Jimmy Soul song back in I think it was the 60s, who said, if you want a happy life, don't marry a pretty wife. You know, sometimes when you get that girl that's a 6, you might be a little happier than if you date that girl that is a 9, who's going to just drive you absolutely bonkers. Excuse me. So yeah, so don't always go for looks. Go for value. You're probably not gonna find a woman that has a body count that's under 5. I mean, that's I mean, that's almost an impossibility. It's like finding a woman that doesn't have a tattoo. It's almost an impossibility now. Every chick out there has a tattoo. I mean, where I'm living, I mean, some of these women have more tattoos than teeth. It's just terrible. But stay away from the distractions of women. And if you're going to look for a woman, try to find the woman that has the most value for you, because that woman will be an anchor, and she will anchor you down and hold you down to do what she wants, right? And she will control you through sex, because that's the only thing women have. The only thing that women control sex. We all know that. And women control, I got this thing that popped up here. We know that women control sex, and look at J-Lo over here, just being herself here. Now, although getting back to J-Lo, she admitted that the split almost took me for good. The star said that she had no regrets about the marriage and subsequent divorce. That doesn't mean it didn't almost take me out for good. It almost did, said the On the Floor singer. But now, on the other hand, other side of it, I think of myself, blank, this is exactly what I needed. Thank you, God. I'm sorry it took me so long. I'm sorry that you had to do this for me many times. So she's basically saying that God willed this divorce, and that God is the reason why she's divorced. And Ben Affleck was probably such a terrible person that that God had to remove himself from everything that's going on in the universe to save Jennifer Lopez from this horrible guy named Ben Affleck. I'm not looking for anybody, Lopez added, because everything that I've done in the past 20, 30 years, being in this different challenging situation, what can I blank do when it's just me flying on my own? Affleck and Lopez reunited in 2021 after breaking up nearly 20 years ago. And so So basically, she's saying that it took an act of God to get Ben Affleck out of her life, and that's just a typical woman. She's basically blaming Ben Affleck for making her life miserable, and she's going about it in a way that women do. She's going out public. She has her cabal of women that are out there. She has probably other guys that are chasing her. Women replace men much faster than men replace women. It's just the nature of the beast. It's just how it goes. But she will be a hump hump. She already is a hump hump for the foreseeable future. She's 55 years old. I don't know how much more time she's going to have. Men will go after her because of her money, and she still has her looks because of the fact that she has so much money. She can hire personal trainers and directors. Oh God, sorry about that. But yeah, so Ben Affleck moving on from Jennifer Lopez. Good for Ben. He would probably be much better off without her. She has been married. I think she's been married like 4 or 5 times. She has different baby daddies, and uh, um, it was a no-win situation for this guy. He should have never have gone back to her. Um, Affleck said to the magazine, "I guess there's a tendency to look at breakups and want to identify the root causes or something." The Oscar winner actor explained, "But honestly, like I said, the truth is much more. Oh my God, what's that word? Much more blank than probably people would believe or would be interested in." That's the nice way out. He's trying to almost be a little stoic, and that's cool of him. I admire him for that. He made a mistake. He knew he made a mistake, and he's moving on. So let's hope that Ben doesn't make the same mistake twice. It seems like he is, because he is been seen around with Jennifer Gardner, who's the mother of his 3 children. Uh, so who knows? These people just bounce around all the time, and they just never learn. And it's an amazing thing. And I've been in that situation a few times too, where I bounce back with different women. I mean, there was one that I was bouncing back and forth with 3 times. It was more of a sexual thing rather than a committed or a feeling wise relationship. It wasn't a relationship. It was just sex. We would just hang out and, biff, bam, boom, and I would leave. And that was great. That was great. But sometimes feelings do develop. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to Ben, to the point where he married this woman, and she's going to go and she's going to meet some 30-year-old, karate instructor, and she'll date him for a year, and then he'll go by the wayside and she'll replace him with somebody else. And that's the thing that you have to avoid. You cannot allow yourself to be anchored down or distracted by these women. And you have to always ask yourself this question. And this is the thing that I would like to I would like you to think about. Does the woman in your life, does she complement your life, or does she complicate it? Because if she's complementing your life, she's submissive to you, she's obeying you, she's pleasing you, she's happy to be around you in public or in private. She always compliments you, and she makes you feel like you're the only one that exists. It's very, very hard to find somebody like that, because women today, with these phones and social media, there's always some guy hitting them up saying, "Hey, how's it going? Just checking in." And she might feel that she may have better options out there. And who knows? Maybe she does. Guys, when they get into relationships, they get stagnant. They forget their purpose. They lose their focus. They may, start growing those beards out they cover their bellies. They may start to get fatter. They may start to lose that edge that they had. And you never want to lose your edge when it comes to society or societal norms, or society itself, because you never know that when the day comes when that girl is going to just bang, leave you, and they will drop you like a bad habit, and they will replace you very, very, very quickly, because they can. There's so many dudes out there who are looking for women, and who are looking to um, to basically be what you have, what you are, right? You got to remember that that guy that is seeing you with that girl, he wants the same thing, and so you have to remember that it's a competition out there. Unfortunately, there's no more bro code. Guys don't care. They will take your girl if they can. They don't really mind it. I mean, I'll be honest. I've done it. Um, but you cannot ever sleep on yourself. Stay focused, have a purpose, and always maintain control over your own being, because they will try, and women will try and ruin you. They carry hell within them, and we don't want that. And that is the topic of the day of Ben Affleck. Now I wanted to get on to the man memo, and this is the first one. This is the first one, and I wanted to focus today. I wanted to bring up the topic. I think I've brought up this word before, of being focused. What does it mean to be focused? Well, distractions and false thoughts will blur your focus. Not because you're not smart enough or lack any special ability. That's nonsense. It happens to the best of us. Trust me. Don't believe any of this manosphere red pill crap. Don't play any of these stupid games. You have to stay focused on yourself. It's just that so few of us have conditioned our minds to take control. Stoicism is the best way to keep your focus. Stoicism isn't just some theory for intellectuals. It's a particular tool that helps you focus your mind on what really matters, what truly matters to you, what truly matters in your life. Guys like Marcus Aurelius, they controlled their inner world. No matter the amount of distractions around them, how focused, or he stayed focused on what mattered most. You may be on a journey now that you think is leading you to where you think you may want to be. But is that truly where you want to be? I mean, you weren't the same person a year ago that you are today. At least I hope not. Or are you mistaken? Are you driving in the right direction? How many years have you pursued things or people that brought you no value in the end? Only pointless arguments, empty desires, or negative thoughts and emotions? The question you need to ask yourself is, where is my focus? Do I have a meaningful purpose? And that's something that all men have to have, especially men. We started civilizations, right? Those civilizations were started by development, creating, and habits, right? Those three words, when you put them together, they turn into focus. They turn into purpose, but it all starts with a focus. Epictetus wrote, if someone tried to take control of your body and make you a slave, you would fight them for your freedom. Yet how easily you hand over your mind to anyone who insults you. When you dwell on their words, you let them dominate your thoughts and you make them your master. Right? Epictetus, the manual, the philosopher's guide of life. You never allow a stranger to break your focus. Whether it be a stranger, a former lover, you never allow them to control your mind. Don't let them interfere with your focus. This will leave your mind very vulnerable and being abused by judgment. You'll be disturbed with comparisons. You'll be troubled with unrealistic expectations. And this is how you lose focus and ultimately your purpose. To regain your focus, you must pinpoint what really matters in your life. What do you really want in life? where is your future? Where do you want to be in the future when you 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 2 years from now? To regain your focus, you must pinpoint what really matters. You'll never be able to obtain happiness by pleasing others or following societal norms. It comes when you discover your life's purpose. So many people are afraid to stand out. So many men are afraid to stand out. But the lion doesn't concern himself with the thoughts or the judgment of a sheep. You need to concern yourself with the judgment of another lion, right? That's the respect. That's where the respect comes in, right? It doesn't matter what some petty little broad thinks of you. You have to worry about respect comes in tears, right? If you have a woman that some idiot who doesn't respect you, don't even bother with them. What do you care? It's your competition. You do have competition out there, and they're the ones. That's the guy that you have to worry about. Your peers that are on your level. You need to focus on getting their respect, and that comes organically. That comes through example. But focus is always the most important thing in the direction of your life. If you haven't discovered your purpose, stop. You're in the working hard hamster wheel to nowhere. And the working hard hamster wheel is, people say, get up and grind, be disciplined, work hard, work hard, work hard. Let me tell you something, working hard is not a good way to think, right? You remember there's an old saying, don't work hard, work smart. Well, that's what development, creating, and habit is. Working hard, you could be working hard, shoveling shit for 10 hours a day. It doesn't get you anywhere. You're on the hamster wheel. You're not standing out. You're not being the man that you should be. Don't run a race where there's no finish line. Focus on these three words: develop, create, and habit. These three words will lead you to the ultimate victory: finding your purpose. When you find your purpose, you evolve. And we need to constantly evolve every single day. Eliminate all distractions. Don't be pulled away by meaningless noise and gossip. That's what happens to children and women. Right? The Godfather had a great line where he said that women and children can be careless, but never men. Right? We stay away from nonsense like that. Stay away from debates or empty desires that aren't your own. These things sap your focus so quickly. Say no more often. You can say no. It is amazing how powerful that word is. The word no is an extremely powerful tool to keep your value at its optimum. But if you allow distractions to control you, your focus will die. And this is why embracing habit is so vital. Habit is built daily and is a powerful foundation for you. Creating a habit will also eliminate the "I'm not ready" or "I'll wait for the perfect time" excuse. That day, that time will never come because you're not focused. You're just kicking the can down the road. You must take control, begin to develop and create and form your habit and find your purpose right here, right now. And that's the man memo. And I hope that helped you a little bit. Because we need all the help we can get, gentlemen. It's a wacky world out there. We don't know where it's going to lead. It's a world that's getting sick and getting sicker. And we just have to survive. And we have to have communities like this that's going to help us survive. There are some good people out there on YouTube that I like to watch and listen to. But there are a lot of dudes who are they're not good for you. They want you to play these stupid games and red pill this and black pill that, blue pill this. Go to the Stoics. Go to the Bible. You'll see how evil women are in the Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper, but you will see how they will destroy men. Go into history. Go into fairy tales. I mean, they will tell you every evil person in fairy tales, the evil stepmother, evil witches, they're all women. This is not some, toxic masculinity thing of 2025. This has been going on through history. So anyway, That's the broadcast today. Thank you for spending time with me. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And be careful out there, gentlemen. Satan is always busy. Be a man, have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing for. We'll see you later.